The year of 2025 is special in the Catholic Church. It is a Jubilee year. The last Jubilee year, the ordinary Jubilee, was in the year 2000, at the turn of the millennium. More recently, there was an extraordinary Jubilee year of mercy a few years ago. But every 25 years is a Jubilee year. Think about couples celebrating marriage. Well, they celebrate 25, 50, 75. Those are the milestone marriages. And so a jubilee in the church is meant as a time to give thanks to God and to rejoice in the Lord. The notion of a jubilee goes all the way back to the Old Testament, actually, when in the Old Testament, they would declare a year of favor for the Lord and forgive all sins and everything like that. And so in our practice of a Jubilee year, there is the forgiveness of sins. People are encouraged to go to confession. They're encouraged to make pilgrimages, to walk through holy doors, to obtain special indulgences. So it is a Jubilee year. The church calls this Jubilee year Pilgrims of Hope. That's the special theme. Pilgrims of Hope. Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, wanted to emphasize hope in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. He wanted to emphasize hope, he said, because there are wars that are going on in Ukraine and in the Holy Land where Jesus lived and walked and taught and died. That in this time of the world, that we need to have hope. This theme, Pilgrims of Hope, it captures one of the essences of a Jubilee year. People during the Jubilee would go to Rome. They would visit the holy places in Rome, that there's a special holy door and such. But the church has realized that not everybody can go to Rome. And so in the local church, there are holy doors. In the church in America, there's one designated place as well. So in the Diocese of Green Bay, to go to the cathedral or the shrine in Champion. In America, if you're in Washington, D.C., to go to the shrine or the Basilica of Mary of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. But this theme, Pilgrims of Hope, also hits at the fact that we are all pilgrims of hope, that we are pilgrims in this life to our ultimate destination, the kingdom of heaven. And so we are indeed pilgrims of hope. As I think of the three Magi today, as we celebrate the Epiphany, I see them as pilgrims of hope. That these Magi, as they were looking up in the sky, they caught a glimpse of hope, a spark of hope, when they saw that star in the sky. That as they looked up and as they knew the sky, that they said something is different with this star. This star, as they studied it, it signals the birth of a newborn king. And so with that hope, they set out to find out more about this king, who he is and where he is. There's hope in the sky. As they embark then as pilgrims of hope to Bethlehem to find the Christ child, well, surely they had to persevere in hope. I'm willing to bet that maybe there was a dust storm in the desert, that one of them fell ill, and so they had to persevere. When they wanted to give up, they kept going. That they had struggles along the way. Even that encounter with Herod. They go to Herod. They say, Herod, we see that there is this newborn king. There's a star in the sky. And Herod said, I don't know what you're talking about. And so that could be a bit of a discouragement. That the king doesn't even know about this newborn king. And maybe they thought, We read the sign wrong. We read the sky wrong. But they persevere in hope that they aren't wrong, that they will find. They go, as Herod says them, search diligently for the child. And so they keep following the star. And they finally find hope. They discover, they encounter the hope of the world, the hope who is Jesus Christ. And they enter the home and they find him with Mary, his mother. They bring their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And they encounter the hope of the world, the hope of the nations. And as they're in the presence of Jesus, something changes within them. They sense that there is something different. They have joy and peace. They are filled with love and hope. And so they discover hope. And then the gospel says, being warned in a dream, they go home a separate way. And so they leave. And as they go, they share that hope that they have received. Imagine whoever they pass by, wherever they stop. Don't you think these magi were sharing the hope of this child that they visited? That wonderful things were going to happen because of Jesus. They shared that hope. Like the Magi, we now are called to be pilgrims of hope. That we catch a glimpse of hope, a spark of hope in our life. That even when things are difficult, that something inspires us with hope. We discover hope through the church, through the gifts of the sacraments. We encounter the hope of forgiveness and a new life through confession, the hope of communion with Jesus and the Blessed Sacrament, hope as we go on pilgrimage or as we pray. And then we share the reason why we have hope with the people in our life. We are pilgrims of hope. During this Jubilee Year 2025, I hope that you will truly discover the reason for your hope, that you'll continue to persevere, that you'll discover and encounter that hope which changes your life. Discovering Jesus, who is our hope, makes all the difference in our life.